Do it live. All right. How's everybody doing out there? I am Mike, and I'm here at 12:30 for Mondays with Mike. And I want to thank you for joining me here. I'm going to join because last week I was answering some questions from you guys um, on Facebook, but then there were folks that were on YouTube who were saying, "How come you're not talking to me?" So, or actually, I think there were some people on there that were saying that I was making it up, that there was nobody really there and was talking to me. So I'm going to do a little mic test right now. So there we go. Okay, it worked. So if you guys want to join in on any questions or comments about the crazy weather that's happening out there, you can join me on Facebook on Fox 26 Houston Facebook page, or I'll check YouTube here in a little bit too, but you could probably tell. Mike, how's it going, man? Good to see you. You could probably tell I'm not in the studio. I was in the studio for most of the day. I saw an opportunity because meteorologist John Dawson is there. We had a little bit of a lull in the activity. So I did an update with Fox Weather. I don't know if you ever watch Fox Weather. They're great. They're a 24-hour weather network that's available on your smart TV, just like Fox Local. And so I did a hit with them at 11:15. And after that, JD did an update at 11:30. Anyway, bottom line is I saw my opportunity to go home, and I said, you know what, I'll just join everybody from the homestead. So that's what we're doing right now. It is pretty wild out there. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the radar for you because I want to make sure that that's the most important thing today, right? So let me show you what's happening out there. So I'm going to hit present. I'm going to hit share screen. And then what am I going to do? I want to do the entire screen, right? Yeah. Entire screen. Boom. All right. Then I'm going to pull this up. So here we go. So right now I'm in our weather graphics system, and let's go ahead and hit play on this. So this is actually the current radar that we're looking at right now. And I got to tell you, I drove through this. If you haven't been out there, yikes. These parts that are red really mean business. Fortunately, we don't have any severe weather there. We don't have any severe weather embedded within this, but I'll tell you what, it is a torrential downpour. For example, if you are watching me right now from Pearland or Manville, any of these spots, just coming down in buckets, and this is headed toward Alvin too. In fact, there is, so this is what I'm going to do. These are some of the tools that we have in our toolbox here, is that what I like to do is I have this loop set here at 30 minutes. So I can, for example, I can back this up to 30 minutes ago. Okay. And what I'll do is I'll put a little line here like that. And then I'll bring it up to where it is right now. You put a little line here, and then you can measure. We have a little tool here that I could use to measure. That's 12 miles. So over the last 30 minutes, this line has gone 12 miles. So now I can delete all this. That gives me an approximation of the storm motion, how fast it's going. So then I can use this tool here and draw it, align the leading edge of this little squall here. And let's see, it moved 12 miles in a half hour. So it's moving at approximately 24 miles an hour. Let's call it 25. So there we go. And then the system will spit us out here some approximate arrival time. So for example, right now it's showing in Pearland, this line of heavy storms is going to be moving through in 2 minutes. Alvin in 7 minutes. Friendswood in 14 minutes. Algoa, which is, and I think that's how it's pronounced. I don't know if it's Algoa or Algoa, but that's down there along Highway 6, I believe, on your way past Alvin if you were driving to Galveston. In about 18 minutes, and then League City about 30 minutes from now. So that is where this nasty stuff is headed. I've also, so this, look, it's pretty nasty down here too. So this is A lot of the same areas that were hit pretty hard hit, let's see, about a week and a half ago or so down there around the Liverpool and Danbury area. If you're watching us from Galveston County, this is going to be headed in your direction too. So we can go ahead again. I can kind of highlight this leading edge, just draw a little line here, zoop. And then, like I said, we figured out that it's moving at about 25 miles an hour. So yeah, still showing Pearland 3 minutes, Friendswood 14 minutes, Santa Fe 23 minutes, League City 28-minute arrival time. So I'll go ahead and keep this looping. I am going to jump in the chat here and see if anybody is telling me anything. So let's see. Let me go on to Facebook here. And let's see. Hello, David and Sue and Frankie. And Frankie, how's it going? I hope you're doing all right out there. Okay, so Sue has an excellent question, really. Sue says, is it icy or just wet? And fortunately, Sue... Holy moly. My wife and I went to Sam's Club. We went to the Sam's Club in Pearland, and it was, I swear, it was like colder inside the Sam's Club than it was outside. It was so cold. I said, man, I guess that's how they have the food in here so cheap, because they're not spending the money on heating the place. So yeah, so it's 57 in Houston right now. Let me see. Let me get, let's look at some other things that are happening here. So do I have the temperatures? Here's my temperature map. Yesterday's high temperature in Houston, by the way, was 43. It was 43 yesterday afternoon in Houston. So right now we've already had a big rise in temperatures. So look, in Houston right now, 57 at Bush and 65 at Hobby. I mean, that's a pretty huge change, isn't it? I mean, you figure we're approximately 20 degrees warmer now than we were yesterday for a maximum temperature. So let's see. Let me wait. I want to loop this. There we go. Last 30 minutes. We'll loop the last 30 minutes and see what everybody's saying. Yeah. Okay, Sue. Okay, I see that. It says list of icy locations. I don't know why. I saw that come up too. I was like, what? So that was really weird. Okay, Tom says we're also on the app. Okay, great. Yeah, Tom, there's so many different ways. I swear, this world that we're living in, right? It used to be. I know though most of you out there are very, very young, but back in the day, you used to have a TV set. And if you wanted to watch Fox 26, there was a dial. You had to select UHF, first of all. Everybody raise your hand out there. Give me a shout out if you remember what UHF was. So the UHF channels were the ones that were past 13. 13 was the highest VHF channel. Anyway, so you had to go to the TV, click, 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 and put on 26, and that was it. That was it. Now you could watch us on Fox Local, which is our streaming smart TV app. The one that I'm singing the song about on the commercial they keep playing. You could watch us on fox26houston.com. You could watch us on our news app. You can watch us on our on streaming on your phone. There's so many different things, and so it's a little bit. So, like Tom said, so he's watching on the app. Ms. Reyes says, "Big question: will it flood today?" And the answer is some minor street flooding. Yes, you're going to be if you're driving out in it 1 or 2 o'clock. Anytime between now and like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, you're probably going to come across some flooded side streets, where the street kind of goes down on the side. You're definitely going to run into some of that. In fact, let me show you this. Let me pull this up. Hold on just a second while you're looking at all the little stuff I have going on my computer now. But I want to show you the Harris County flood warning system. because we could look and see how much rain has fallen. So I'm going to select all agencies so that we could look at all these numbers. And I want to zoom in on a couple of spots here. I don't know where you all are watching from. I know somebody mentioned Jino City. So like we can go over here and take a look at how much rain has fallen there. So like in that part of Harris County, like the Jino City, Galena Park area, you've only had about ½ inch of rain. But if we go over here to the west side, it's been definitely a much bigger deal. So Katie's had 2 inches of rain. I got to put my glasses on here. I can't see anything. So Katie's had, let's see, 1.96. Let's see, the northwest side of Harris County. So this is over here. This is 99 and 290. And over around the Cypress area, 2¼ inches of rain. Let's head up to the north side. This is around the Woodlands and Spring. Tomball. Let's see, Tomball about 2 inches so far. Spring has had about an inch, 1.16 inches. It's been actually really heavy in Fort Bend. This is down here around, let's see, Stafford. Sugar Land has had about 1.5 to 2 inches of rain. Let's see. What about A-Leaf? Okay, so let's hold on now here. Oh, Sue. Okay, so Sue is asking about A-Leaf Meadows Place. Isn't Meadows Place nice? You know what they have in Meadows Place, Sue? I think we've talked about this before, haven't we? The grackles. The grackles over there on 59 and in Meadows Place. If y'all haven't been there. So here we go. Meadows. You see? Right there. There's Meadows. So here on 59 in the fountain, see where it says Fountains on the Lake? In this Fountains Shopping Center, this is like Grackle Central. Although somebody told me that they are purple martins, and Sue, maybe it was you, I don't know. Somebody told me they're purple martin birds, but they're amazing. Anyway, 1.6 inches of rain. That's what you've had in Meadows Place so far. Christine is in the medical center. Christine, what are you doing? Are you operating on somebody today? Tell me what you're doing over there. I got to know. Med Center's had about 3/4 inch so far. Sealy, Amanda in Sealy. Let's see. Does my data go out to Sealy? I don't have one out there in Sealy, but I can tell you it's about 3 inches, Amanda. It's been at least 3 inches of rain in Sealy. We can do this. Watch this. I'm going to switch back over to my weather computer here. And I'm going to switch this to rainfall totals so that we could check out what's happening in Sealy. Let's see. Let me go to let me turn off the watches and turn off this. And we're going to look at Sealy here. I'm going to turn on observed precipitation accumulation. There we go. And there it is. So let me turn this off. Here we go. So let's take a look at some rainfall totals. So this is the Doppler radar can provide us with rainfall estimates. It uses an algorithm of rainfall rates, and the rainfall rates are determined by lots of things, but one of the aspects that goes in there is something really fancy that I love to say. It's the VIL. It's the vertically integrated liquid, which is a real thing. So the radar takes different slices of the atmosphere, and based on the reflectivity levels of those different slices, how loud the echoes are, it can measure from the ground all the way up how much rain has fallen, what the intensity of the rain is. So let me go ahead and query this here. So let's go over to Sealy, because I'm telling you, it was a lot. Okay, 3.5 inches. That's what popped up. See that right there? 3.5 inches of rain is what has fallen in Sealy. We also, let's see, over here, northern Fort Bend County. I don't know why it pops up. That's so weird. It goes over there. 2.6 over there by Sugarland. And then this is roughly the same. Belleville, Hempstead, and those areas have also had about 3.5 inches of rain. And then you'll see it's been much less toward the east. And what's real interesting, guys, is that if you look at our computer model here, here's our Futurecast. Now watch this. Watch the Futurecast. And it really seems to be doing, it seems to be doing a good job. See, this is what it was showing at 10 a.m. Let's see, right now we're at 12:45. So right there, it's showing all the heavy rain kind of across the area, basically what we're seeing. And by 3:30, 4 o'clock, 4:30, it's showing it for the most part moving out. So this may be coming to an end by then, but then it's probably going to be another round tomorrow. See that coming in right there, Tuesday morning, and then another bam, whopper coming in around 5 p.m. tomorrow. So yeah, this is going to be something that we're dealing with here for a little while here. All right. Jasu Patel, hello to you. You're over in Orange, Texas? Well, first of all, thank you very much for watching us from Orange, Texas. You know, I had to change the way I say orange, because people here say orange, and I say orange. And Rashi Vats corrected me so many times. She'd be like, why are you saying orange? What is orange? I'm like, I don't know. That's just the way I say it. I don't know. And so she would give me a hard time about it. And so I now purposely overpronounce orange. Orange. Tom says, what's the name of this software? Can you share that? Yeah. So, Tom, the software that I'm showing you right now is called Max. And Max is a software product of a company called the Weather Company. Creative name, right? The Weather Company. The Weather Company used to be called Weather Services International, WSI, and they've made this several iterations of this weather graphic system ever since I started in the business almost 25 years ago. And so this is the latest and the greatest, Max. And it's a very user-friendly type of, we have another product that's from a company called Barron Services that also is excellent. It was a little bit harder for me to access from my computer at home just for today, just for the purposes of this. But there's a lot of amazing technology out there now. What I like about this is that I can switch. Like right now, I'm using radar. This is the League City radar. So over here, this is the National Weather Service radar. See how it looks all cruddy when you get real close to the radar? The weather radar doesn't work very well when it's too close to the radar. You actually have an area over the radar that's like a dead zone because the beam doesn't shoot upward. So whenever there's rain over League City, what I have to do is I switch to a different type of radar. I switch to what's called a terminal Doppler radar. So for example, those of you who are watching me right now from the Clear Lake area, or if you're in League City or Friendswood, what we do is we turn on this radar, which is the what's called the terminal Doppler radar, which is actually located here in Pearland. And so it lets us see what's happening in League City. See, and you could tell that this one is no longer in League City. It's over here, right there. So we have different radars we could use. And then if that one's not working, if I don't like the way that one is showing me things, then I could switch to the one that covers Bush Intercontinental Airport, which is located in Tomball. So you see how you'll see a circle. You see that circle there? So that circle is the extent that the radar will reach from Tomball, Texas, from Hooks Airport. So it only goes out, I think, about 65 miles, 50 miles. So these radars are meant to be very high resolution and short range. So like this radar that you're looking at right now, which is called the Terminal Weather Doppler for Bush Airport, It is really to show the pilots and the air traffic control very specifically near the airport what's happening. And probably most importantly, it has Doppler abilities so that you could look at velocity products and things like that. So you can pull up how fast the wind is blowing. And in fact, you can query these things too. And by query, I mean you can click on a point and see what the amount is. Hold on just a second. Here we go. This is what I was looking for down here. Yeah, right there. So you can click on this and see how fast the wind is blowing. It's not going to be blowing that fast. 22 miles an hour. 22 miles an hour. So up at the cloud level here, which is probably only at about 1,000 feet up, the radar can detect that the raindrops are blowing at about 22 miles per hour right there. So right in Aldine. So if you're watching us from Aldine and you were to go like 1,000 feet up in the air, those raindrops are moving at about, give or take, 22 miles per hour. And then the most important thing, though, is if you sense any kind of spinning, rotation or something, which we don't. This is a bright spot down here by Santa Fe. Now this, if I were to, this is probably going to show me 50 miles an hour or something like that, 56. So I might look at that and say, wow, that's concerning. So then I'll switch over to a different radar here and see what I can confirm. So we'll switch over now to, let's go back to the National Weather Service radar. Boom. Okay, velocity. And let me move this up a little bit because it's pointing too low. Sometimes the radar can be pointing too low. So here we go. And then let me test it again. Remember last time, what did it say? 56 miles an hour. See, now that same spot is 23 miles an hour. Why the difference? The radar beam's hitting the cloud at a different altitude. This radar's hitting it a little bit lower. So the raindrops in the lower part are still moving at what, 23, 31 miles per hour, but much higher up, we'll see that they're going way faster. So it's interesting, is it? I mean, there's like a lot of cool stuff that you can explore with the radar. But the bottom line is, the most important thing is we have to keep an eye out for things like tornadoes, which we don't have out there. What we do have, though, is heavy rain. So let me loop this again. And let me hear from you. Let me see where you guys are. Oh, Billy says, where have you been at 9 a.m.? I'm there. They have me come on at 9. Usually I'm on at like sometime between 9 and 9:05. And then I come on again about 9:33, 9:34, something like that. Usually after a interview. Okay, so Maricela says it just started pouring in Jino City. I see that. That line just hit you. You see? See how that yellow and red just moved in? Absolutely. Change this right here. Yeah, that just moved into your area. Same thing with Pasadena, Carolyn. If it hasn't started pouring in your part of Pasadena yet, it's about to. It's about to come down. Yeah, can you talk to the graphics team changing from FoxRad to Fox 26 Storm Team on all the graphics? David, that's an excellent point. It may be something that we explore soon. FoxRad is definitely one of our trademarks. FoxRad Storm Seeker radar is one of our trademarks. But I do know what you mean. In a lot of our other sister stations around the country, they do put, like I know in Chicago, it'll say Fox 35 Storm Team. It's kind of what David's talking about, instead of just putting FoxRad. So I don't know. Let's see. Oh, okay. So Betsy's asking about jelly. I'm going to go maybe I'll go get jelly. I have 5 minutes left. Okay. So y'all hold on. I'm going to stop. Hold on a second. Let me stop my screen share here because we have time to just say hi to Schmelz, AKA Jelly. And okay, so let me stop my screen share, right? Yeah. Now it's back to just regular me. All right. I'm going to go get Jelly. Okay, hold on. Don't go anywhere, all right? Where's Jelly? You want to go? Okay, my daughter is good. She's home from school today because she's sick. But here is Peppa. Pippin is my best friend. And I tell him that all the time. I say, Pippin, you're my favorite. And I don't even care if the other two get their feelings hurt. I say, Pippin is my favorite. And I tell Jelly that, not to make him feel bad, but I tell Jelly, I just say, just so everybody knows what's going on here. Pippin is my favorite, right? Can I get kisses? Kisses? See, he gives kisses. Yucky. That's yucky. He doesn't talk much. He'll bark. If somebody comes to the door, he will go ballistic barking. Can you say hi, G? You mind? That's my beautiful 12-year-old, and she is home from school today because she has a cold. How do you feel, hon? Good. Okay, good. Okay, here's Jill. Okay, so here's Jelly. So y'all remember Jelly from when I used to do TV from home. Jelly always used to join us. He's a good boy. Do you know Jelly? You know he's like 10? Yeah. I think Jelly is 10 years old. Because when we got Jelly, Gia was like 2. And now you're 12. But he's a good boy. So he is, I know I said that Pippin's my favorite, but you're the original. I know. He gives kisses too. Watch. Okay. Oh, this is the game I play. Watch this. Those of you with cats will understand this. Watch this. Jelly, can I have a nose lick? Jelly. Now watch. I'll scratch his back. Like, how about now? No, I'm still on. You want to come say hi to everybody? Okay, that was my wife. Okay, so we're getting ready to wrap things up, guys. I enjoyed this talk. I enjoyed hearing from everybody. The dogs are fighting right now. Oh my gosh. So let's see. I don't want to leave anybody out. Okay, Liz said on 249, headed over to I-45, it was raining lightly. Oh, Liz is watching from her Uber? Hey, Liz, shout out to you. Say hi to the Uber driver. Definitely. All right, shout out to Pasadena. Frankie's in Conroe. Of course, Sue is in the headquarters of the Grackles Meadows Place. We got Pearline. Oh, we got Angela in Bay Cliff. Do you know Angela? I've never been to Bay Cliff. You ever been to Bay Cliff? Obviously I know where Bay Cliff is, but I've never been there. It's down by Galveston Bay. We got Cleveland. We got Tom is at work in Greens Point. We got Lisa. It's pouring down raining from Pearland to Hobby Airport. Christine, did you ever tell me what you're doing? Are you doing an operation down there? Wait, did I see the answer? Oh, okay. Well, your husband has a doctor's appointment at MD Anderson. Well, gosh, Christine, I hope everything's going okay. I mean, I guess he's in good hands, right? It's about the best you could do. So prayers to you and him. Jennifer's in Sheldon. Shout out to you. Let's see. Oh, Jasu is on Highway 6 at Westheimer. I thought you were in Orange, Texas. All right, guys. Well, look, we are out of time, coming up at 1 o'clock. So hopefully Gia feels better. She has a cold. And thank you very much for joining us here on Mondays with Mike and Mondays with Gia. And shout out to my mom and brother watching us in Florida. So I hope you all have a great day. Bye.